Good morning, everyone. It's good to have you here this morning, both of you, as you stumbled across this video on your feed. This morning I'm drinking a little Cameron's Southern Toasted Pecan is the flavor of the day. Southern Toasted Pecan. Well, I'm glad to be here this morning. I want to share with you, do you ever feel like no one's listening? I mean, that's a lot of the reason that protests are going on across the country is people are feeling like nobody's listening to them. Does it ever feel like that when you pray, that no one's listening? Well, I have to admit, there are days, these days, when it kind of feels that way for me. There are times when I really would like the Lord to answer me in a Post-it note would be great. But I'd settle for an audio voice or a voicemail on my phone, even a meme. But I would like to hear from him. This morning in my devotion, I was reading Psalm 28. To you, O Lord, I call, my rock. Be not deaf to me. Lest if you be silent to me, I become like those who go down to the pit. Hear the voice of my plea for mercy when I cry to you for help, when I lift up my hands towards your holy sanctuary. Well, that's certainly my cry today. You know, for most of my pastoral ministry, I was ordained a year ago, although I've been in pastoral ministry in one form or another for the last 30 plus years, and most days I love it. I absolutely love being in pastoral ministry. But it has certainly changed from going to be a lay minister serving in a congregation to becoming a pastor serving in a congregation. And one of those changes took place just recently when I was issued a call from another congregation, Peace, Arlington, Minnesota, extended a call to me. And now I have to deliberate and weigh two calls. The call that I have to New Creation Lutheran Church and the call that I have to Peace in Arlington. And I have to seek the Lord's will on what he would have me do. It's never been an easy decision. It's always been a challenging decision when I've received calls in the past. But these days, there's a lot of things that have changed in my call deliberation. One of them is just this whole COVID thing has added an extra layer of, what do I think about this? As we as a congregation transition back into worshiping live, as they as a congregation are in that transition, what does that look like? Another layer that's added for me, and I have to say that I now have a higher level of respect for the pastors who have suffered through these calls. In the past, I was always one of a larger staff. And while, yes, my position was important and some might even say vital, I would hope that every staff member feels they are vital to a congregation. When I left, ministry continued on the same trajectory, and yes, some things changed, and yes, they often found someone else to replace my position, and I would move on if the Lord called me to. But it's a different weight when it comes to being the pastor of the congregation. There's nobody else here. If I leave, it leaves a big hole in the life of this congregation as they move forward. There are lots of factors to weigh in on a call, and those of you that have been through this process know that. Those of you that don't, well, I'm here to tell you there are a lot of factors that weigh into the decision of a call. And so today in this psalm, I cry out to the Lord as I do each morning from my kneeler right over there, and I ask him for his advice and his guidance. And this morning I felt like the psalmist. To you, O Lord, I call, my rock. Be not deaf to me, lest if you be silent to me, I become like those who go down to the pit. And he goes then to say what it feels like to be in that pit and to be dragged away with the enemy. But then David knows what we all know. David then writes, Blessed be the Lord, For he has heard the voice of my pleas for mercy. The Lord is my strength and my shield. In him my heart trusts, and I am helped. My heart exalts, and with my song I give thanks to him. The Lord is the strength of his people. He is the saving refuge of his anointed. O save your people and bless your heritage. Be their shepherd and carry them forever. May you know today, in the midst of your prayers, and I don't know what your prayers are this day, if they're prayers for health and healing for you or someone in your care. I don't know if they're prayers for our nation to come out of this funk that we seem to be in, for this virus to end soon, and for the death toll to stop. I don't know if your prayers are that you would be able to come out of isolation and begin to interact with people, for you are longing for that interaction. I don't know what your prayer is, but I do know this. Just like my prayers for mercy and for wisdom as I develop an idea of what the Lord wants me to do on this call, I know that he does hear and answer my prayers. And again, like I said, while I'd love to have his answer on a Post-it note or an email in my inbox, I know that he will answer, and I know that he will give me guidance as I need, just as he will you. So don't give up. Just keep praying, keep asking, keep seeking. And the Lord has promised that he will hear us when we seek after him. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. That was my confirmation verse. Matthew 6:33. I'm hanging on to that verse today. I hope you are too. I hope you're hanging on to Psalm 28. Well, for me and my cup of toasted Southern pecan coffee, I want to wish you a good morning. And God willing and the creek don't rise, we'll see you again soon. Who knows? Maybe even tomorrow morning. Hey, be blessed.